If your future self was watching you right now, what would they say? Think about yourself 5 years from now, not just as a vague idea, but as a real person. The you who wakes up every morning, looks in the mirror, and lives with the consequences of the decisions you make today. Now let me ask you something. Would they be proud of you? Would they look back at this moment, the one you're living right now, and thank you for how you spent your time? Or would they feel disappointment, that you had stopped wasting time on distractions and focused on what actually mattered? Would they wish that you had been more disciplined, that you had taken action sooner? Because here's the truth most people refuse to face. Your future is being shaped right now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when you feel motivated, right now. And if you don't take control of your time today, your future self is going to pay the price for it. Because what are you sacrificing without even realizing it? Most people don't think about time this way. They see it as something that just happens to them, something that resets every morning like a fresh start. But in reality, every single second is an investment, whether you realize it or not. So let me ask you, what dreams have you already lost because of the time you've wasted? What skills could you have mastered by now if you had stayed consistent instead of quitting? What kind of life could you be living today if you had made better choices 5 years ago? Maybe you wanted to start a business, but instead of learning and taking action, you spent hours scrolling through your phone every night. Maybe you wanted to get in the best shape of your life, but every morning you hit snooze instead of getting up and training. Maybe you wanted to improve your mindset, but instead of reading and learning, you spent your evenings numbing yourself with entertainment that adds nothing to your life. The result? 5 years have passed and you're still exactly where you were, except now you have even less time to change it. And here's the scariest part. Most people will never wake up and take control. They'll keep pushing things off, convincing themselves that they have more time. Until one day they wake up and realize that time has run out. But do you know what the lie that keeps you stuck? The biggest reason people waste time isn't laziness. It's the belief that they can always start tomorrow. I'll start working out next week. I'll start that business when I have more money. I'll start reading when I feel more motivated. And then weeks pass, months pass, years pass. And when they finally look back, they realize something. They never actually started. They thought they would, they wanted to, but they didn't. Because time doesn't wait. And every single day that you delay action, your future self loses something they will never get back. Think about it like this. Imagine if 5 years ago you had committed to one thing, one small habit, one goal, one discipline, and stayed consistent with it. Where would you be today? How different would your life look? The truth is, you already had enough time. You just didn't use it. And if you don't change now, you will be sitting in the exact same position 5 years from today, watching someone else live the life you were meant to have. Is it time for you to do the time audit? To expose the truth about your daily habits? Most people don't even realize how much time they waste. They tell themselves they're too busy to work on their goals, but the reality? You're not too busy. You're just distracted. So let's break this down. Take a normal day in your life. Be honest with yourself. How much time do you actually spend on things that move you forward? How much time do you waste on things that add nothing to your future? Because here's what most people do. They wake up already behind. They check their phones first thing in the morning. They rush through their routine, reacting to everything instead of controlling their time. They spend hours at work, but half of that time is wasted on distractions and meaningless tasks. Then they get home, scroll through social media, binge watch a show, and before they know it, the day is gone. And what do they tell themselves? I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. Because this isn't just about one wasted day. It's about a lifetime of wasted days that add up into a future full of regret. And if this is hitting you right now, good. Because that means there's still time to change. Because your future is a direct result of the choices you make today. Your future self isn't just some distant version of you. It's you, but with the consequences of every decision you're making right now. You're either building a future you'll be proud of, or one you'll regret. You're either creating discipline or reinforcing your bad habits. You're either taking control or letting life happen to you. And the hardest truth, most people will never make the change. Most people will keep wasting time. Most people will keep making excuses. Most people will keep convincing themselves that they have more time than they actually do. But you don't have to be most people. You have a choice, right here, right now. This is the moment where everything changes. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Now. Because if you don't start today, you probably never will. If you're serious about taking control of your life, don't just listen to this message. Comment below, "I take back my time." Make a commitment. Because this is your turning point. This is the moment you stop wasting time and start owning your future. And if you're ready to fully take back control, stay with me. Because in the next section, we're going to expose the real reason you've been wasting time and how to destroy it for good. Let's go. 2. The real reason you're wasting time, and it's not what you think. Most people assume that wasting time comes from laziness, lack of motivation, or distractions. They blame social media, endless scrolling, or the comfort of their daily routines. And while those things certainly play a role, they are not the root cause. The real reason you waste time, fear. Not just fear of failure, but fear of making the wrong choice. Fear of discomfort. Fear of stepping outside of what feels safe and familiar. It's easy to tell yourself that you're too busy to chase your goals. It's easy to say you'll start later when conditions are better, when you're in the right mindset. But if you dig deeper, what you'll often find is that you're not avoiding work. You're avoiding the emotions that come with it. Fear is the silent force that keeps you stuck in the same place, convincing you that you have all the time in the world, when in reality, time is slipping through your fingers. Think about the things you keep putting off. Maybe it's starting that business you've been thinking about for years. Maybe it's going to the gym and finally committing to your health. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, ask yourself, why haven't I done it yet? Most people say, I just don't feel ready. But the truth is, you will never feel ready. You are waiting for a perfect moment that doesn't exist. You are waiting to feel confident before you take action, instead of realizing that confidence comes from taking action. You are waiting for the fear to disappear, when in reality, the only way to eliminate fear is to move through it. Let's take an example. Imagine you want to start a business, but every time you think about it, you feel overwhelmed. You don't know where to start, so instead of taking small steps forward, you distract yourself. You scroll through social media, binge watch a show, or keep yourself busy with things that don't really matter. Why? Because starting feels uncomfortable. The uncertainty makes you anxious. The possibility of failure makes you hesitate, so you wait. You tell yourself you need more time to research, to plan, to figure things out. But weeks pass, months pass, years pass. And one day you look back and realize that your fear of starting robbed you of everything you could have built. But here is another trap. The most dangerous habit isn't just wasting time. It's choosing comfort over growth. Most people don't realize they are addicted to comfort. They say they want success, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. They say they want discipline, but they avoid anything that challenges them. They say they want more out of life, but their daily actions say otherwise. Think about how often you choose what feels good now, over what's best for you in the long run. You hit snooze instead of waking up early to work on your goals. You grab your phone instead of reading a book that could change your life. You put off a workout because you don't feel like moving. You tell yourself you'll start eating healthier next week. And every time you choose comfort, you reinforce the belief that your feelings are in control of you. Discomfort is the price of growth. There is no success without it. And if you aren't willing to feel uncomfortable, you aren't willing to grow. This is how fear tricks you into wasting time. Fear doesn't always show up as anxiety or panic. Sometimes it shows up in disguise, as overthinking, as procrastination, as excuses that sound logical. I need to do more research before I start. I just don't have time right now. I'll start when I feel more motivated. I need to wait for the right moment. These are not real barriers. They are mental illusions created by fear. If you're always waiting to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. The only way to move past fear is to act despite it, to do the work even when you're uncertain, to step forward even when you don't have all the answers. Most people never learn this. They waste years waiting for a feeling that never comes. But not you. You're going to break this cycle. Because if you don't, your future self will look back and see nothing but wasted potential. So let's do a simple exercise to expose your time-wasting habits. If you want to take control of your time, you have to see where it's really going. Here's what I want you to do. For the next 24 hours, track every single thing you do. Write it down. Every time you check your phone, every time you watch TV, every time you scroll through social media, every time you do something that isn't actively improving your life. At the end of the day, add up the hours. How much time did you actually spend working on your goals? How much time was spent on things that were just distractions? Multiply those wasted hours by 365. This is how much time you are losing every single year. Most people never do this exercise because they don't want to face the truth. But the truth is exactly what will set you free. Because once you see the reality of where your time is going, you can no longer lie to yourself. You will have two choices. Keep wasting time and stay the same, or take full responsibility and take back control. Which one will you choose? If you're done making excuses, if you're ready to stop letting fear control your time, make a commitment. Comment below, I refuse to waste my life. This isn't just about motivation. This is about a decision that separates those who live with regret from those who take control of their future. If you're serious about breaking free from time-wasting habits, stay with me. Part 3. How to reclaim your time and build a life you won't regret. At this point, you've realized just how much time has been slipping through your fingers. You understand that procrastination, distractions, and fear have kept you from reaching your full potential. So now the real question is, how do you fix it? How do you take control of your time, break free from wasted potential, and start living in a way that your future self will thank you for? Here's how. Step 1. Design your days with intention. Most people drift through their days with no plan. They wake up and go straight into reactive mode, responding to messages, checking social media, and letting the world dictate their time. But successful people, they control their time with intention. If you don't decide how to spend your time, someone else will decide for you. That's why you need a plan before the day even begins. Every night, take 5 minutes to plan the next day. Know exactly what you need to accomplish before you wake up. Set clear priorities. If you could only accomplish 3 things tomorrow that would move your life forward, what would they be? Cut out the noise. Most of what fills your day isn't important. Identify the habits and distractions that add nothing to your life and eliminate them. If you start each day with a clear sense of direction, you'll be unstoppable. Step 2. Train yourself to take action immediately. Every time you hesitate, you reinforce procrastination. Every time you delay action, you train yourself to avoid the hard things. So stop waiting. Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop giving in to the temptation of just 5 more minutes. Adopt this rule. When you know what needs to be done, take action immediately. When you feel resistance, push through it. When you hear that inner voice telling you to wait, override it. The moment you stop waiting for motivation, the moment you stop looking for the perfect time, you will start building momentum. And once you build momentum, you become unstoppable. Step 3. Eliminate the traps that steal your time. You already know your biggest distractions. You already know the habits that pull you away from your goals. But knowing isn't enough. You have to actively remove them from your life. Social media. Set strict limits or delete the apps completely. Mindless TV. Cut it down or replace it with learning something valuable. Negative people who waste your energy. Distance yourself. Be ruthless about protecting your time, because every distraction you allow into your life steals from your future. Step 4. Master the power of saying no. One of the biggest reasons people waste time. They say yes to things they should say no to, useless meetings, endless favors that drain your energy, plans that don't align with your goals. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you are saying no to something that does. Say no to distractions. Say no to things that don't move you forward. Say no to anything that pulls you away from your highest potential. Your time is your most valuable resource. Protect it. Step 5. Become the person who respects their own time. At the end of the day, everything comes down to one simple truth. If you don't respect your own time, no one else will. Your time is not limitless. It is not something you can get back. It is the most valuable thing you have. So from this moment forward, you need to act like it. Start taking your time seriously. Start treating every hour as an investment in your future. Start making choices that align with the life you actually want. Because your future is not waiting for you. It's being created by you, right now. If you are done wasting time, if you're done letting distractions, fear and procrastination control you, make a commitment. Because this isn't just about watching a video. This is about changing your life. And if you're ready to go even deeper, stay with me. 4. The shift that separates people who stay stuck from those who take control. Let's talk about something that most people don't want to hear. Everything you've ever dreamed of, the success, the financial freedom, the sense of purpose, the confidence in yourself, and the ability to wake up every morning excited about the life you're living, is within your reach. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not everyone will get there. And it's not because they aren't smart enough. It's not because they lack opportunities. It's not because they weren't born with some rare, special gift. The reason most people never achieve the life they want is simple. They never decide to take control. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow. They promise they'll be more productive next week. They wait for motivation, for a sign, for life to magically align and make it easier. But life doesn't wait for you to be ready. While some people hesitate, scroll through distractions, and let months or even years slip away, others are taking action. While one person overthinks every decision and lets fear stop them, someone else is taking imperfect but consistent steps forward. While one person is making excuses, someone else is putting in the work, making the sacrifices, and getting one step closer to everything they want. The difference between people who stay stuck and those who take control is not luck. It's a decision. And the real question isn't, can you achieve everything you want? The real question is, will you finally take control and make it happen? Your dream life is on the other side of one decision. Every single person who has built an extraordinary life, whether they became wildly successful, created financial freedom, reached their ideal level of fitness, or developed unshakable self-confidence, started in the exact same place you are now. They had moments of self-doubt. They had bad habits that wasted their time. They struggled with procrastination and inconsistency. But at some point, they made a choice that changed everything. They decided to stop waiting for motivation and started taking action, even when they didn't feel like it. They stopped living on autopilot and became intentional with every hour, every decision, every habit. They stopped letting distractions steal their time and focused only on what truly mattered. And because of that one choice, the choice to stop wasting time and take control of their future, everything else changed. They became the kind of person who follows through. They became the kind of person who sets goals and actually achieves them. They became the kind of person who doesn't just dream about a better life, but actually builds one. And years from now, when they wake up in the life they once only imagined, they will know one thing for certain. It happened because they made the decision to change when they still had the chance. That person, the one who takes control instead of waiting for life to change, is someone you could be. The only thing standing between where you are now and where you want to be is the choice you make today. At this moment, you have a choice to make. You can walk away from this video, tell yourself you'll think about it later, and continue doing the same things you've always done. Or you can decide right now that this is the moment everything changes. You can decide that you are done wasting time. You can decide that you are done letting distractions and bad habits control your life. You can decide that you will no longer be the person who procrastinates on their own potential. Instead, you will become the kind of person who values their time and refuses to let it slip away. You will become the kind of person who prioritizes growth, discipline and progress over comfort and excuses. You will become the kind of person who wakes up every morning with clarity and purpose because you know you are on the right path. Because here's the truth, your future is not waiting for you. It is being built by you right now, in this very moment. And every decision you make from this point forward is shaping the life you will look back on. So ask yourself, will you be someone who wasted years on distractions, regret, and missed opportunities? Or will you be the person who took back control, became intentional with their time, and built a life they are proud of? The choice is yours. If you're truly ready to stop wasting time, take full control of your life, and start becoming the person you know you're meant to be, then this is just the beginning. Subscribe to Stay Stoic and become part of a community of people.